Battlefield 6 Open Beta is here, and after the absolute dumpster fire that was 2042, it seems like Battlefield is back, capturing the spirit of what made us love Battlefield so much in the first place, going back to the gameplay of 3 and 4 which we loved so much back in the day. Although beneath the surface, it seems like Battlefield is home to a few roaches. Electronic Arts revealed that in the open beta alone within the first 2 days, that they have blocked over 300,000 people attempting to cheat or tamper with anti-cheat controls. And this brings us to the topic of the video. Now, before I do touch on this any further, I want you to not harass the people who's involved with this video, and if I find out that you've done it, I will find you. Now, our story begins on August 8th, where a streamer, Riley CS, would post this on Twitter: the most locked-in catgirl you'll ever see in Battlefield 6.
Oh my god, you did follow me in Delta Force era. That was so long ago. Oh my god, what the fuck? That was nuts!
Now, the video did spark a lot of controversy, with some believing that the clip contains footage of cheating, half of the community believing that there isn't cheats, and half of the community showing that there was. I don't think ever in my life I've ever seen something so split down the middle on Twitter. Truly a moment in history. The resulting chaos would have the streamer arguing back and forward with people in the comments saying that they are cheating, showing an eventual hand cam to prove that they actually weren't cheating, and then the resulting fallout from it, with some more serious stuff that I would like to touch upon later in the video, which just led the whole situation to devolve into a massive shit show. Now, the reason how I found out about this was when the Act Man replied to the tweet saying, "Posting gameplay of you cheating and pretending you aren't is one of the cringiest things a gamer can do." I personally would like to go into both sides of the coin on why I believe this person might be a closeted cheater at the very minimum, and also some points why people believe that they are innocent. I'll be going over a few clips that's shown in the video, not everything, because just a few clips is enough to, make your own general consensus on what you think. And I'll be using my own experience playing things like Team Fortress, where cheating is quite rampant, so I recognize cheats and I recognize how they work a lot of the time. So without further ado, let's get into it.
That was so long ago. Oh my god, what the fuck? That was nuts!
Now, this is the first clip from the video. In it, Riley jumps into a building where she sees 3 people standing right in front of her. And as she runs in, we see her flick to a guy on the left that's hidden behind a wall. A lot of people are chalking this down to the use of wall hacks. However, one of the things that you can take note of is the fact that the minimap is in the corner, and the dot for the enemy is actually on there. Now, does this clip contain cheating? In my opinion, no, not in this one at least. There is some strange stuff like the flicks and what could be interpreted as her snapping onto where someone's head would be, only for them to be crouching directly underneath the crosshair. But one clip is not enough to come to a conclusion, so let's get on to the next one.
Wow, I flicked straight at that guy through the wall. Oopsie.
Hold it! This clip right here is the one that made everybody think that this person was cheating. And it's mainly due to the flicks that you see. Riley does a flick and starts shooting at somebody who we actually see is behind a rock. Now, to look at both sides of the argument, this looks extremely shady, at first. But one thing you should always keep notice in all of these clips is that the minimap is on there. And Battlefield actually has a pinging system where if a teammate sees an enemy, they can ping it and it will show up on the minimap for everyone for a certain amount of time. Just note that this does not absolve Riley of suspicion at all. I do think that the response that they gave with the
oopsie
that I shot a guy through a wall, it's very reminiscent of when movies go, "Wow, this plot is really stupid, but we're gonna keep doing it and not change it anyway because we admitted it was stupid. Therefore, you can stop questioning it now." Just saying that you did something suspicious does not absolve you of suspicion. And you know for a fact that if she no-clipped through the rock, it would be exactly on their head. There is definitely a case to be made here already for closeted cheating. Another one of the main points of this that made people question was just how quickly the flick was, and we will see that a lot throughout the most of this video. Although, to play devil's advocate, as a Team Fortress sniper main, flicks like these are not uncommon, but every time it happens, you just gotta assume that there's something going on. Cheats have never been easier to get, and they've never been easier to hide nowadays than they were years and years ago, because there's all sorts of different ways that these softwares can hide the fact that you're cheating, like things such as streamer mode, which can have ways to hide it from the task manager so it's completely invisible. You also have things like ESP, or wall hacks as they're more commonly known. This is incredibly easy to hide too. So I recognize some of the patterns that's there, but these could be coincidences.
But as one trained in the Force, you know that true coincidences are rare.
Really, this is just another case of Riley snapping onto somebody. But what it looks like is that they're snapping onto someone that's behind a wall and then realizing that they snapped onto there and then immediately aiming onto the person to the left. And it seems like whatever program that they are using, if they're using one, they reset it so it was only enemies that they could visibly see in front of them. Obviously, this could all just be like game sense and all of that, everything that I've shown beforehand, but game sense does not mean that somebody isn't cheating. I have played Team Fortress for 5 years now at this point, and I have encountered cheaters with some of the greatest game sense I've ever seen anyone have. And it's some of the reasons why they get away with it openly, because people don't believe that people with good game sense would want to cheat. To quote the once great Carl Jobs, before he lost his credibility,
you might think that having the talent would make someone less susceptible to cheating, but it often works against them. On top of this, having talent and deep knowledge of a game makes you a better cheater. You understand what does or doesn't make sense, what is or isn't possible, and what's believable. When top players cheat, it's almost always detected by other top players looking much deeper than a normal spectator might. The fact that better players make better cheaters means that arguments such as, "he's such a good player, he has no reason to cheat," are fundamentally flawed. If anything, having a better understanding of a game makes you even more likely to cheat, which is why at the top level, proof standards are so important.
knowing a game more and more makes you more likely to cheat on it than you would not knowing. If you know a game more and more, you know how to hide it, and you know how to more effectively hide it. And if it looks like you have good game sense, you can do anything on there with cheats, and nobody apart from the keen-eyed would probably point it out to you. In response to this whole thing, Riley decided to do a hand cam stream where they would show their hand as they were playing, but something didn't quite add up. Hand movements didn't match with the gameplay at all. Some of it was quite delayed. And this would eventually culminate in her Twitch account getting banned. And although Riley claims that this was because of a mass flag, and the account did end up getting unbanned a day later, the cynic in me was like, I got banned just for a mass flag. Yeah, I bet you were. I am pretty sure that Twitch has systems in place to deal with mass flagging, but we've seen it before where Twitch would ban somebody for cheating in a game. Also, getting unbanned on Twitch does not prove anything, because Nadia is still allowed on Twitch, and she is a known cheater in Warzone, even getting banned from a tournament live, and it would follow up with her getting banned on Twitch for 14 days. Only for it to get revoked within 6 hours. So it still does not mean anything. But we've seen it before where Twitch would ban somebody for cheating in a game and then revoking it, as well as general refusal to remove bad actors from the platform. I mean, Hassan Piker is still on the platform. He should just not be on there in general. He didn't cheat on a video game. He's just Hassan fucking Piker.
America deserved 9/11.
Now, I found this clip while editing, and I feel like this contains the last bit of evidence I really need to make my point. So without further await, here it is. There you are. In my opinion, proof that this person is cheating. Granted, this clip is a year old, but once a cheater, always a cheater. Why would you just start shooting at a wall for no reason? And even if you were to continue the clip onward, you might even be able to see that there would be more cases of cheating in this clip alone, but you coincidentally cut it off before then. And I can't find this clip on your channel because you've wiped everything. And you might be thinking, oh, it couldn't be Riley because it doesn't have the VTuber model. But there you go. Uploaded directly from the Twitter account. Going back to your Twitch account, it seems like most of your videos or VODs are deleted. Almost like you're trying to hide something or hide our ability to look further into you. It doesn't help that you did this almost immediately after you were unbanned. But you forgot to take this down, so this is my proof that you are. Hello, Tutor! I know you've been using aimbot in Battlefield! Not doing that again. I think I've personally come to my conclusion. And combined with everything else, the judge fines Riley. Now, I just want you to remember that none of this is definite, objective fact, but this is just, in my opinion, a list of different evidences to prove that this person would be cheating. So this is all up for you to make your mind up on. I personally am in the group that believes that there is some closet cheating going on here, and I didn't do this to try and convince you on it. I'm just laying down my reasons on why I believe they could be, and some reasons on why people believe that they are not. If I'm right, then I'm right, and then if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. With time will tell. But one thing I'd really like to touch upon is the responses to this video from the people in the comments. You had people criticizing her gameplay, saying that it looks fake or whatever. But then you had people that were targeting her because they found out that she was trans. Now, I know you're always going to have your orbiters who, the moment that they find out that someone is transgender or falls into any type of category, they'll immediately jump to defend them no matter how wrong or right they seem to be. But this, don't fucking do this, because if you're doing this with legitimate criticisms and you lump it in with this stuff, you completely invalidate the message that you're trying to put forward, because by attacking somebody, nobody will pay attention to what you're saying. It's the equivalent of shouting in an argument. Once you start raising your voice, you've lost. Nobody cares about what you have to say. Attack the person's gameplay, not their identity. This is disgusting, and I cannot stand by people who do this. And I know that some people will go, oh, well, you say stupid shit on your streams or videos, but it's like, I'm joking when I do that, but these people are legitimately filling this hateful cycle. It is not at all the same thing, or even remotely comparable. Doing so is just a cope to make you feel better about doing it in the first place. If you think that somebody is cheating in a video game, call it out, but you do not under any circumstances attack them as a person for it. Even in a case like this, because it's not even confirmed as to whether they are, it's just suspicion, and calling this person a tranny or a fag in the comments does not get anyone anywhere. This is disgusting, deplorable behavior, and if you do it, you should stop doing it. Because all you're doing is redirecting all of the attention away from the suspicious clips into some random thing that has nothing to do with the actual topic of the discussion in the first place. And because of that, anyone that criticizes this person will now be bunched in with these other people. I don't care about whatever it was you want to go by. He, him, she, her, bug, self. What I do care about is the idea that you might be fucking cheating. Anybody can cheat, and anyone can get caught for it. But nobody deserves this level of hate from anyone. Calling out fake gameplay is fine, but calling out someone's life choices is just a shitty thing to do. And it does not help at all, because just remember, personal politics aside, it is just a video game. And I think just the attacking in general makes the conversation so dumb. Like, when you're attacking somebody on the internet, they're obviously gonna swing back, because nobody likes being talked to like that anyway. And all it ends up doing is just repeating this Ouroboros cycle of just anger, and all it's going to lead to is just you getting nowhere in the conversation. When you have people like Tectones giving actual criticism but sandwiching it between this hate, obviously the response is going to be just as hateful, and therefore nobody addresses anything that anybody says. And with that rant aside, I think that brings us to the end of this shit show. Do you think they're legitimate? Do you think that they're cheating? Let me know in the comments. I apologize greatly for the lack of videos. I'm gonna do more stuff like this in the future. I have one cooking up already. It might be late, it might be on time, who knows? The big videos that I'm working on in the background are still happening, but I'm gonna do these in the meantime to get content out regardless, just so you don't have to wait for anything. But for those of you who have been patient, I cannot thank you enough. Drop a like, sub, and I'll see you when I see ya.
Action! Hold it! Take that!